So population definition. This is a small part of human geography. I have made human geography in 3 parts: part 1, part 2, part 3. In one, agriculture, transportation, and population theories and all, like Marxian theory, Malthusian theories, and all are there. Pre-industrialization, post-industrializations are all there. So this was the one part that was missed: population definition. So it is just a small part of a human geography concept. Let us see what is it. So first we will see what is literate and what is illiterate, and these all the as per the definitions of as per the definitions defined by the government, and it is recognized one. So the what is literate? So how can we judge like this person is a literate and illiterate? Now, a person aged 7 and above who can read and write with understanding in any language, whatever the language it can be, English or Hindi or Assamese, Bengali, any language. It may be French language, it may be any foreign language, anything. So if a person aged above and who can read both, who can read and write both with the understanding, is will be termed as a literate one. And it is not necessary for the people to have take any formal education or degree. So to call it as a literate one, it is not necessary that you have to be a graduate and all. Okay, it is not necessary to you have to go to school for it also. So if you know read and writing in any language, you will be called as literate one. And people who are blind, and if they are able to read in Braille language, they will be treated as literate also. And whatever the children will be there, so if there is children up to 6 years, will be treated as illiterate. So let us suppose in a city, let me explain. Like in a city, if there is a this is a section of children of 6 years, and this is a that is less than 6 years, and this is a city where greater than 7 years are present, or less than or equal to. Okay, so aged 7 and above will be there. So let us suppose if all these aged people are able to read and write, all these people are able to read and write, so this 6 year will be called as your illiterate one. And because of that 6 year children, there is a percentage in the city that will be called as illiterate one. Like we should not recognize, we should not count them as an illiterate one, because it hampers our data. Like the data will be seen as, oh, that there is a 14% population of the city are illiterate. But when we came to know that 14% of that city are children, that is of 6 years. So it means what? They are going to call it as illiterate. So our data is going to be getting affected because of this thing. And this is the definition of literate and illiterate one. It is just a hypothetical situation where you have illiterate people are of up to 6 years age, but it is not a real situation. Okay, so now we will see how can you call a place as urban area. So all statutory places with a municipality, corporation, cantonment or notified town area committee will be called as your urban areas. Okay, and a place, so the place should satisfy, there are certain conditions for it. So the place should satisfy 3 criteria. So a minimum population should be of your 5,000 should be your minimum population, and at least 75% of a male working population should engaged in non-agriculture pursuits. That is, there should be in secondary or tertiary activities. So what will be your primary activities? Primary activities will be your agriculture related occupation. So this thing was discussed in part 1. So at least for urban part, for urban thing, you have to take care like 75% of the male should work in a secondary or tertiary activities, that is industrialized work or mechanical work, all those things. okay, and the density of a population of at least 400% per square kilometer. So if per square kilometer is an area, then if this is an area of a particular state, so per square kilometer, if this is one per square kilometer, this is per square kilometer, so there should be at least 400 persons present. So then we will call it as an urban area. So these three criteria should be there to call a place as a urban areas. These three together should be satisfied. Okay, it should be like 1 is being satisfied and 2 and 3 is not satisfied, we will call it as urban areas. No, you have to satisfy all these three conditions. Okay, and when we call a place as a city, so the place towns with population more than 1 lakh, then it will be termed to be as city. So because of that definitions only, Patna was that is capital of Bihar, was arguing for metro. Like they were arguing for that we should have a metro in our Patna city. So due to these all definitions, now the construction of metro has been started in Patna. Okay, so because of all these definitions only, we will get the development of that area as per the definitions of this area, and they should categorize, they should fulfill all these conditions. Now household, so on what basis we will call household? So household is usually a group of persons who normally live together and take their meals from a common kitchen. So a common kitchen should be there. So it means what? See, this is pay attention here, that hostels, house, restaurant who stays there have their food from a common kitchen, they will be also called as household. Okay, it is not your house, that is, I'm not talking about your home. It means if you have a common kitchen, if there is a group of people, if they used to take meals together and these all meals are prepared from a common kitchen, it will be called as household. So household will be, can be hostels, restaurant, your house also. So this will come into the definition of household. Now what is normal household? So people and their families and institutional households like hostels, lodge and hotels. So these will be called as normal household. Normal household like your family, that is your house where you nuclear family, or that is like your father, mother, brother and sister, you live together, your mother cooks food or your father cooks food in a kitchen, so that will call you as normal household. And institutional household, in institutional household will be your hostels, lodge, hotels. So this household is divided into two parts. Okay, that is normal household and institutional household. Then what is houseless household? So households who do not live in buildings or census houses but live in roadside, pavements, under flyovers, that is your houseless household. Like your street food vendors, some street food vendors do business as an occupation, some street food vendors do business on the road and they live on the roadside only. So this thing will be called your as houseless household. Okay, now what is the growth rates? What are the definitions of growth rate? So first I have talked about sex ratio. Sex ratio is, I think it is in part 3 of my human geography video. So you can find much deep explanation about the sex ratio and population pyramid. That is the important concept in that part 3 video lecture. Okay, so the number of females per 1000 male, that will be your sex ratio. If you want to find how to sex ratio, take the number of females divided by number of men and multiply it with the 1000. It is similar like calculating percentage. So in percentage you multiply with 100. For that ratio we have to multiply with 1000. Like we compare at the 1000 number of the people. Okay, now the growth rate of the population. So this is the change of population expressed in percentage. Okay, how the population is changing. So what is the natural growth rate of the population? This is the population increased by difference between births and deaths in a particular region between 2 points of time. That is natural growth will be your birth minus death. Okay, like how many people have taken birth and how many people have died, just subtract it, that will be your growth rate of the population. So if you will get minus, then it means more people have died, less people have taken birth. Okay, if you are getting positive, so it means that number of people taken took birth is more than the number of people died. Okay, now the actual growth rate of the population will be like birth minus death and plus in migration and minus out migration. So there will be a situation where you will get foreigners coming into our India. Okay, foreigners coming into our India. So these migrating people will also be included in our population growth. So what will the actual growth? The normal growth is like the country's birth rate and minus death rate, but there are some people who are migrating, and these are migrating from other countries. Okay, maybe they are migrating for some period of time, maybe migrating for a long period of time. So there are certain definitions for it also. So if the people migrate into India, so we have to add them as they have migrated into our country and increase the population of the country. And there will be some people whose visa will be expired, or those whose trip has been over, so they will move out of the country. So we have to subtract that migrant also. Okay, so because this is acting as a death for us, so death is like lacking, like minus from the population. Similarly, subtraction from the population. Similarly, if out of migration is going on, out of migration, that is from outside the country, that is also acting as a subtraction from the population of the country. So we have to subtract it, we have to subtract death, we have to add birth, we have to add in migration. Okay, and if you are getting a positive value, if you are getting positive value after solving all these things, then it will be called as a positive growth rate. And if you are getting a negative value, then it will be called as negative growth rate. Okay, so here the same thing explained, that if this happens when that population growth rate, like this happens when the birth rate is more than the death rate between 2 points of time, or when the population from other countries migrated permanently to a region. So that is birth minus death plus minus migration is equal to positive. And negative growth rate of the population, like if the population decreases between 2 points of time, it is known as negative growth rate of the population. It occurs when the birth rate falls below the death rate, or people migrate to the other country. So number of people migrated to other countries are more, so that will be contributors of the growth rate. So just keep one thing in mind. So migration and migration thing, like there are certain criteria that which people we have to consider. Like there may be some people who came to India for three days, or there may be people who came to India for 6 months, or there may be people who come to for 3 months. So there are certain conditions. So I'm not talking about that thing, I'm just talking about the concept, like how the actual growth rate of the population is being calculated, where we are not only taking the birth and death rate of the country, where we also used to take migrants of the migrants coming into the country or going outside the country. Those migrants we are also considering here. Okay, so this was the only a small concept, this was a small part. Okay, from here human geography is over, no topic is left now, and if some topic will be left, I will make the videos on it also. Okay, thank you.